what's more important than the athlete is you're building a person.
Yeah.
You're building a real life individual, man. And I feel like in this day and time, sometimes that get lost, in all the other stuff, man. And it's like, man, we still gotta remember, like, we building an individual, building a young lady, building a young man. And I feel like just as much as the strategies and the things we put in place for them to become great athletically, there was just as many things put in place for them to become great as individuals,
Because it's like the specialization of sports now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we came along, we played all sports.
Yeah.
But really, sports was a means to the end.
Right.
The end was building the individual.
Inky Johnson, Oak, going for the championship, that ain't coming close. This might require taking notes, homie, listen close. Serendipity when you know you the one who chose. We going past the end zone, crushing every goal. I feel it in my enzymes, in my chromosomes. If you ain't come outside to go hard, then go back home. I'm in my zone, if it ain't great, it's a better left alone. This for the world, put what we speaking on speakerphone. Yeah, Wills, let them know what we be on. Serendipity, man, tune in.
What's going on, good people? Welcome to another episode of Serendipity. I'm Inky Johnson here with my brother.
I'm Oak. What's happening, good people? Hope everyone is good and alive, brother. It's always good to be seen and not viewed. Glad
viewed.
Yes, sir. Glad we're above the earth. So ready for another conversation and dialogue about life, and let's see what we got going on, boss.
Yeah. How you feeling?
As I was just saying, man, I'm so excited that I don't know what's gonna be next in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like next month, 2 months. Usually I know what I got going on. Right now, I don't.
Mm.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the possibility of that. It might fall on my face, or we may just rise to the clouds in the heavens. So we'll see.
Yeah. I love that, man, because most people, when they in that space and place of, just waiting or becoming or expecting, it bothers the spirit, or the mindset. It's a place to where, it's not much peace that resides there because it's like, man, I don't know, or I'm waiting. And so it's interesting that you like, man, I'm excited. I'm in this space to where I'm excited about what's next. Yeah.
It's a place of just being able to be innovative, creative, and new.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I know it's the time has come to transition.
Yeah.
From professionally. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it will, I don't know what the end will be. I don't know what the outcome will be, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Now I was gonna say, man, like, if you notice, the format is a little bit different, on this episode.
Yeah.
We gonna pitch and catch a little bit, dialogue a little different.
You just trying to take care of my needs. I appreciate it.
I take care of big dog need. Nah, we gonna pitch and catch a little bit though, man, just in a different way, to where it feels like expression, talking dialogue, which, we working on something a little bit bigger, but it's just a format, man, to where we expressing, talking, getting some things off internally and celebrating some things, Would you say, Oak?
Again, I've received a text like right before this recording, maybe about 2 hours. It was just out the blue.
Yeah.
One of the listeners just sent me an encouraging text like, "Hey, y'all doing great. This is the conversations and how y'all have impacted my life." But at the end, he said, when you feel down, when you feel, not your best, just remember that God got you.
No doubt.
That level of reciprocity is what I appreciated the most.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just like, oh, this is what you guys are pouring into us. He made it an opportunity to pour into me, and I received that. Thank you, Y. You know who I'm talking to.
It's beautiful. Let's kick it off, man, with this quote card, and we're going to get into the dialogue, man. But it reads, I know this transformation is painful, but you're not falling apart. You're just falling into something different with a new capacity to be beautiful. I know this transformation is painful, but you're not falling apart. You're just falling into something different with a new capacity to be beautiful.
The thing I take from that, the first thing I take from that is, how do we view pain?
Mm-hmm.
I think most of the time we try to run from pain, we try to run from heartache, we try to run from disappointment.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're working out and you get sore, that just means your muscles are building up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you're running and your lungs start burning, that just means they're expanding.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting bigger, you're getting better, you're getting stronger, you're getting faster.
Mm-hmm.
From an emotional standpoint, from a physical standpoint. So pain is not necessarily the thing that you want to run from. I remember Muhammad Ali talking one time, and he said he would do push-ups. And he doesn't start counting the push-ups until he start hurting.
Yeah, man.
That's when you start working.
No
That's
doubt.
when you start building, right?
No question.
So pain, in and of itself, the notion of pain, ask for it, seek it, look for it, find it, find pain. Don't try to hide it. Don't try to hide from it. Don't try to elude pain. Seek the pain. Walk through the pain. That's when you get the gain, right? When you go through the pain, not go around it, not run from it.
Picking that up.
So when you're in transition and it's uncertain, you have uncertainty in your lives, and you don't know what's next, enjoy that. Embrace it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because when you embrace the pain, then that gives you a measure or gives you the opportunity of how to measure your gain.
Mm-hmm. Talk about it.
If you don't go through the pain and you gain something, but you didn't go through the obstacles, you didn't go through the hard times, right? It's sort of like with Ant in Minnesota.
Yeah.
When he wins, now it's gonna mean something to him. So if he won this year, it was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nah, young blood, you got to go through this
Yo, sir.
to get to that.
Yeah.
You got to go through this to get to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is, the exhilaration and the understanding that in order to really, really accomplish something in life, you got to go through the pain.
Better believe it. Better believe it. It says, I know this transformation is painful. You're not falling apart. You're falling into something different with a new capacity to be beautiful. I always think, man, in terms of capacity, you could take a cat that's talented, skillful, gifted, with the wrong perspective, take an individual that's not as talented, not as gifted, not as skillful, with the correct perspective, and the cat with the correct perspective and less talent will annihilate the cat with the high talent level and the wrong perspective every day of the week, because their perspective about what they're doing is different. When I think about capacity, I often think about goals, dreams, aspirations, the things that we seek to do, the places that we're trying to get to just in life. You got a lot of people with talent, skills, gift, intelligence. You like, man, they got it. But when you think about capacity is all the things that you're gonna have to go through in order to acquire the things that you seek to acquire. And there's certain things that you're gonna go through, your skill ain't gonna matter. Your intelligence ain't gonna matter. But if you could put yourself in a space and place to where you can reverse engineer or you can manufacture the right perspective about what you're dealing with in order to get to where you're trying to get to, that's capacity, right? I'm talking about manufacturing perspective. Like when you encountering something, you like, man, like, again? I came up against this again. And you could put your perspective in the right space and place. That's capacity, right? It's not that cats don't have what it takes. They got that. But when you talk capacity and speak to capacity, do you got the perspective, or can you create the perspective when things are not going the way you want it to go, or you encounter something and you feel like you out of your league, when the talent, the skill, and the intelligence don't matter? Got cats, all the intelligence in the world, they can't fight themselves out of a paper bag, right? Do you have the capacity? And so when it says you're not falling into something different, you fall into something new with a beautiful capacity to be better.
Yep.
Like, do you got the capacity, man?
Yep.
Not the talent and the skill. Do you got the capacity? Can you carry the things you got to carry with you to get to where you got to get to? When you're the first one in your family trying to break a generational curse, you the first millionaire in do you got the capacity, right? When you're the first one doing something great and different that's never been done before in your lineage, do you got the capacity? It's a lot of people in the lineage probably got the skill. I ain't tripping, but do you got the capacity to carry when they say, man, that cat a traitor, man? When you trying to do something different, you understand? Do you got the capacity to stay focused and stay the course? When you doing something that you know is right and the people that you working with going against you, do you got the capacity? Not the skill. It's a lot of people that probably got the skill. Do you got the capacity, the focus, and the perspective to say, nah, man, I know what I'm doing is right. I love it, Oak. Dave Chappelle talked about when he walked away from that 50 mil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? That's capacity.
Right.
He said, when his contract was up, I knew I was about to be a very rich man. Then he said, it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. I ended up in South Africa. He said he saw a picture on the wall of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln on the wall. He like, hey, sir, how much did that painting cost? The guy say 600,000. That painting is 600,000. He said he got closer to the painting. Oh, he noticed, man, that's just pennies. They created that with pennies. And he said when he looked at the pennies, he counted the pennies. Like, man, that's probably like 300 pennies. They created the portrait with 300 pennies and it's worth 600,000. And he said, that's art. He said it was a lesson in that moment to never allow people to treat you like a commodity if you're good at your art, right? Mm-hmm. But he had the capacity to walk away from the 50 years ago. And the first time he stepped back on the stage at SNL, they had already gave him 60 at Netflix. But he had the capacity to walk away because he knew at a certain point when they was about to give him that money, he said they was trying to control the way I wanted to put out my art. And my art was that valuable to me. But he had the capacity to walk away from it, right?
Yeah. When you talk about capacity and a term I like to describe as you got perception and you got perspective.
Mm-hmm. Talk about it.
So perception is how you're seen. Perspective is how you see. Mm-hmm. So even in the Dave Chappelle situation, right?
Right.
They were trying to create a perception of Dave, mm-hmm. so they could control it, meaning how he would be seen.
Right.
He had enough capacity to walk on his perspective.
Yes, sir.
His perspective was how he sees. Mm-hmm. How he sees his art, how he sees his value. And that is the most important thing, because when you walk in your perspective, you're always walking in, you have the autonomy.
Yeah.
You have the efficacy. When you walk in other people's perception, even your own perception sometimes, right, can be limiting.
Yeah.
But your perspective is never limiting.
No.
Because your perspective is how you see the world, meaning it is how you are able to navigate through life. It is how you're able to ascertain any and everything that comes to you, comes within you, right? Your perspective is so empowering because you're able to say to any and everybody, this is my perspective, not my opinion,
right?
Not my feeling.
Yeah.
My perspective comes from all of everything that has come within me that I came to this earth with, and the way in which I see the world.
Yeah.
And I see the world through my own value.
Yes, sir. Pick it up.
Right?
Pick it up.
Not necessarily I see the world or I'm experiencing the world through the way in which you value me. It's the way in which I value myself.
Yes, sir. I'm picking that up. Man.
Perception versus perspective.
Yeah.
Perception is how you're seen. Perspective is how you see.
Yeah. I'm picking that up. I love it, man. But like just speaking to capacity, just speaking to transformation, you know, like I was thinking, man, a few days ago, right? And just, you know, the power to fuel this format of dialogue. I was thinking a few days ago when it comes to transformation and growth. I was just doing my year of 2024 in review. And I'm like, man, like, I feel like I've been tested more in 2024 thus far up until this point than any other year in terms of the things I've been through, the things I've encountered, and the things I've been going through. But on the flip side of that, I feel like I'm better, right? But I feel like I've been tested more in areas that I don't want to say can't control, but in areas that it's like, all right, Ink, this is fatherhood. All right, Ink, this is marriage. All right, Ink, this is grieving, right? Not in areas to where like speaking, right? Cat can get on stage, speak, deliver 60-minute, 90-minute, get down. But it's been in areas to where it's like God has strategically said, okay, man, I need you to fill in these gaps and grow as a man. And like it's been fulfilling, it's been challenging, but it's been good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's been good because I feel like it's made me more aware. It's made me more cognizant. But I feel like I'm a better man, bro. You know what I'm saying? From the challenges, I feel like the challenges I've had, even just understanding grief, like I feel like it made me a better husband. The challenges I've had with my children, with them getting older and just figuring out different methods.
Yeah.
You want to do it right. You know what I'm saying? And you like, man, hope I got that shit right.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And just the thought, though, just the purity of thought. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm better, though, man.
let me say this, brother.
Yeah.
As my relationship with you and having watched and seen you, I can see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know maybe earlier we talked about it, but I just see a level of growth on you that is beautiful to witness,
Appreciate
but
that.
powerful in that the rest of the world is getting. You know what I'm saying? It's coming. It's become you. The concrete is settling in. Right. The concrete is such that this foundation that, because you're still in the foundation phase, man. You're a young Thundercat.
No question.
You got a lot of more years on this earth to build institutions of thought, of well-being, and impact in the world.
Yeah.
But the way in which, as you were saying, the way in which 2024 has been moving and shaking you. That's just the settling of the concrete.
Yeah.
If you will. And I see it. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
Quick note, just on the side. Can you hear me? I don't know if you eat M&Ms or not.
Nah, I don't. But
I just need you to eat one.
Bro.
I'm gonna tell you why. I just
Do
need
it for
you.
you.
I just need you to eat one of these little M&Ms right here.
I got you. I got an orange one. Yeah. Tennessee.
I'm gonna eat. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Put no red one in my hand.
Oh man, you know we got the red and black ones in here now.
Yeah.
You don't want no red and black?
Nah, I'm cool. I'll let you do that.
Ain't this box of M&M, man? I stole this box of M&M from Kroger tonight.
Oh, Lord, you done made me accomplice to a crime.
Man, I felt so bad, man. I went in the Kroger today, and I didn't get a basket, right? And I ended up picking up more stuff than I could hold. So I put these in my pocket.
All right.
And paid for everything I had in my hand. I forgot I had them in my pocket.
Yeah.
Walked out the store.
Well, that's still damn.
So I got home that night and I pulled them out of my pocket and I was like, oh man, I ain't pay for these.
Yeah.
There was nothing inside of me that would allow me to eat these M&Ms.
Yeah.
I woke up the next morning, Kroger opened at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I went in there and paid for these boxes right here. I took it back in there and paid that $1.25.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I owed it to myself and to my grandmama to not eat these M&Ms until I paid for them.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know what that means to somebody. I don't know how you're going to take it. But to me, it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I felt good about myself.
Yeah.
Because I could have ate the M&Ms, enjoyed them, went to sleep. Nobody would know between me and God.
Mm-hmm.
But that was when they say, you know, your character is really established when nobody else can see it.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I want to give myself some roses in behind these boxes of M&Ms.
Yeah.
And I hope that gives people permission to give yourself your roses. Because we quick to beat ourselves up.
Mm-hmm. Talk about it.
We quick to, we mess up. We might not even announce it, but we'll feel bad about it. Or when somebody holds us accountable to it, we may fight it, we may accept it, or whatever, but we make a large deal out of our mess-ups.
Yeah.
If we're going to make a large deal out of our mess-ups, then we need to make a large deal out of our get-ups.
Mm-hmm. Get it right.
So that's why this box of M&Ms are important to me.
Yeah, because I sure wasn't going to eat it. You told me you ain't pay for it. You ain't about to wrap me up in that.
No.
I'm
No, I told you, I didn't eat them either. No.
See, you ain't about to put me in that. But no, I'm going to switch. Man, it's like the journey, bro, the journey of growth and just self-discovering, man. Like, now, it seems like as I get older, when you're young, you just rolling. You rolling with the punches, you going. Life happening, you running. You know what I'm saying? Can't nothing slow. You're a snowplow. You know what I'm saying? You getting it out the way. But as you get older, man, like, it's like you pay attention and you become more cognizant of things that bother you, of things that you wish you could change. You know, you wish you can change. Like, one of my convictions as a man, just speaking to convictions, one of my convictions as a man is just certain people in my family. Like, I love my family, Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I love my family dearly, you know, and I say this in a space, in a place of no judgment. But one of my convictions just as a man is where I come from, the floor that I come from, the household that I come from. I just want them to do well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my uncles, my cousins, my aunts, like, I just want them to do well. Like, when I get a call about one of my uncles or something going on or just a family member, like, that bothers me. Mm-hmm. As a man, like, you know, of course I pray for him. Like, one of the things I remember before my grandma passed, I was trying to do some stuff for her and I couldn't do it, you know, couldn't do it because, you know, financially I couldn't do it. I could do it financially, but one of my cousins, he stopped me and he's like, Ink, she about to go, bro. Like, if you do what you trying to do right now, it's just gonna turn into an issue and a problem because of what it's gonna do to the family. Mm. If you do what you about to do for grandma and then grandma transitions, it's gonna be a problem.
Some insight right there.
You know? And in my spirit, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do what I wanna do for her, because it'll create a bigger problem. And so ever since I was a little boy, I've always aspired to do well, but like, I've always been more excited. Like, I came up with a lot of my cousins. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Like, when I would get news, like, when I got news I was going to Tennessee. When I got news my cousin Aunt was going to East Carolina, like, man, that shit made me feel so good.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah, man. My little cousin got a scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like the big brother syndrome of feeling like, man, I'm gonna be good. Like, I know how to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I want them to box it out. I want them to be good. Like, if we go out in the turf, I know how to get down. But I'm gonna always worry about them. And so as a man, bro, like, I still deal with that to this day. Like, I got a call yesterday about one of my family members. And when I hung up the phone, I just went into prayer, like, man, like, God, like, and it's one of the things that my spirit, like, it's like, man, you know, and just being real with you, Oak, I think about that often, like, in terms of where I am in life, where God has me, the journey I was on. If I would have made it as an athlete, does God know that if I would have made it, like, nah, ain't, because I know your heart, what it could do if you would have made it and what you would have tried to do for all of your family members and what that could have done for them.
Yeah.
I think about it, not that it's true, but it's something that I often think about. Do you got anything you tour with just as a man in your spirit, just in general? Career, life, family?
When it comes to family, one thing, you know, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I've always feel blessed that my brother is, I always say probably, is 10 times better than me in a whole lot of ways. And, you know, I take solace, I take pride in helping. You know, we're 7 years apart.
Yeah.
This cat never missed a day of school, K through 12. Never made a B.
Yeah.
I don't think he made
a B.
I don't think he made a B in college.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? So he's my pride and joy, right? And because of the way in which we were reared, if you will, I never really said it to him personally, like how we talking here face to face. I'm gonna make sure that I do that.
Yeah.
That I let him know exactly how much of my heart he takes up. And sometimes I forget it. You know what I'm saying? The rigmarole, like me pouring into you.
Right on.
Was an extension of what I did with him. You know, he knew everything I knew about basketball, about football, about life, about girls, everything that I know. I'm not saying it was right or wrong or whatever. The work ethic, he knew everything I knew. Only difference between me and him was I had to fight to wake him up. And I told Mama when we were little, I ain't waking him up no more. Cause I wake him up and he'll go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So other than that, A1. He's A1, but he's my heart. You know what I'm saying? And the other part is just from a family standpoint, bro, being the first. I think a lot of times I don't think I'm seen. And what I mean by that is I think my family sees and feels how I make them feel by being whoever I am and whoever I'm not. Like, my shortcomings really disappoint them. My doing well really excites them.
Yeah.
But in terms of just the things that I love to do,
right,
I don't think that's seen and not necessarily valued. So I make it my business to, with my younger cousins, younger nephews, and I call them my nephews because my cousins are like my brothers. So their children, whatever, right? To see them for them, not necessarily for what they mean or what they represent, but just seeing them as a person.
Right.
So that if they do well, great. If they don't do well, great.
Mm-hmm.
It's the journey.
Right on.
Right? And so sometimes I wrestle with that. Sometimes my feelings are hurt. That I sometimes don't get seen. Or feel like I don't get seen. I can't speak for no one else. It feels like I don't get seen. What I'm, like, an example of, the things that I've done and the role that I've played, like in your life
Right.
and other young people's lives, right?
Right.
Because of distance, they don't see that. They don't see the joy that it brings me to pour into you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't think that sometimes that's valued. Like, that's the most important thing to me.
Right. Yeah.
One of the most important things to me is for when someone can celebrate me for loving on, pouring into, celebrating, uplifting, guiding young people.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that's what God sent me here to do. So I wrestle with being seen by my family, oftentimes.
I'm picking that up, man. I'm picking that up. It's so comprehensive, man, to the point to where, like, I'm in a season of my life to where I'm trying to show my son, and we discussed this before, I'm trying to show my son his father, but I'm also trying to show my son how I am and who I am as a son to my father.
Yes, sir.
Right? In our walk in life. And trying to cultivate that relationship with my father, and I could see my father stretching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, like, I think about it so much, like, with raising my son, raising my daughter, and the reason I said son is because naturally I'm a son, but the relationship with my mother and the relationship with my father between me is different. And so in terms of just patching that up with my dad, like, it's so fulfilling to me now in this season. But there was a time in my life that I used to say, like, I ain't got no regrets, But as a man, as a father, as a husband, one of my regrets is just not being fluid, bro, with my father.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when I say fluid, like, just fluid, you know what I'm saying, in terms of dialogue, in terms of interaction, had so much tension, had so much static for something that I didn't have the capacity to understand, and I can own that.
Yeah.
As a man, as a father, you know what I'm saying? As his son, I didn't have the capacity to understand. And I'm in a season to where it's like, man, like, if I could be real, bro, like, I'm shedding shit.
Yeah.
To be better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm shedding shit. Like, ego, shed that. Pride, shed that. Judgment, shed that. I'm trying to be fluid, bro. I'm trying to be agile in my approach and what I'm trying to do. Like, hence to what we're doing. Like, when we discussed it, like, hey, man, let's talk about this expression thing. And one of the reasons why is cats that we talk to, some of the things that they're dealing with and going through in the space and place, they never talk about it.
Right.
They just carry it.
Yeah.
And after a while, man, you carrying that shit, bro. And it's like, you carrying something that's not intended for you to carry. That shit gonna break you. Then you gonna come and trip on your spouse. You gonna come and trip on your kids. You gonna trip on people that care about you, that didn't do nothing to you. It's just misplaced anger, misplaced pride.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in the season, bro. I'm shedding, man. I'm trying to be agile and fluid, though.
I got a situation, man, like what I was telling you last week when we did the pod we recorded, and you know, I was out of it, right? I wasn't feeling well, whatever, and it kept getting worse. Then I got stuck in traffic going home.
Yeah.
And one little thing was said. Usually it'll roll off my back. And I just went off because I was carrying it.
Yeah.
So that just goes to what you were saying in terms of you keep carrying it, in a minute, it got to go somewhere.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Either you going to go down or you going to throw it off you. And throwing it off you is misplaced anger, you know what I'm saying? Frustration, misplaced frustration. And other people having to, you know, suffer or take the residue of you carrying your pain.
Yeah.
As opposed to
that up.
creating settings like this where we're able to just put it out there in the middle of the floor and leave it there. It's like in, you know, the Baptist church when they say bring it to the altar and leave it.
Yeah.
Whatever your troubles and burdens are, the most important part is to leave it.
Leave it, Doc.
So you give the universe the opportunity to build a bigger you. It's like when you're saying you're shedding it, right? So now, boom, you shedding those things that you've been dealing with. So now you can become a better version of you, right? As long as you're carrying it, you become stagnant.
Yes, sir.
And I tell my brother talk all the time. I said, man, we won the lottery, right? He was like, what you mean? You were talking about you, your son, and your dad.
Right on.
Like your son getting the opportunity to see you as a son. So now your words become that much more impactful. They don't sound hypocritical.
Yeah.
Because he's seeing you being what you asking him to be, a son.
No question.
And what I said to my brother, it's like, especially me, my brother was a little younger, but he remember a lot of it as well. We got a chance to see our granddaddy be a son.
Wow.
So not only are we talking about our dad or our mom in this case, but our granddad. You know, you say granddad, that's the end all be all. That's top dog in the family, right? Nah. Great granddad was top dog.
Head honcho.
I remember them arguing, and great granddad had to really just, you know, pull that.
Yeah.
I'm that man card. Yeah, pull that card like, hey man.
No question.
Sit down, shut up over here now, Bun Jr. Now he still kept talking or whatever, but that lineage of I was able to see those aspects. And so I've always lived my life that way where I always wanted my boys to see me be somebody's son, be somebody's mentee, as much as them see me be somebody's mentor.
Yeah.
Right?
That's good.
So when I say something to you, I'm not saying it to you just because this is what I think and what I feel. I'm saying this to you because this is what I believe, and this is what you see me doing when I go back and forth with Uncle Anthony, but at the end of the day, what Uncle Anthony says goes.
Yeah.
When I go back and forth with Dr. Black, but at the end of the day, this is what Dr. Black says goes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These other cats, when me and Coach Graham, whatever, when he was here, and that's one of the things, man, one of my biggest, when we talked about it earlier, Simone and I, that period, I was just getting to the humanization of my dad when he transitioned. So it was like, man. So I felt like most of my teenage life, early adulthood life, it was in the demonization stage of, you know, just that back and forth, whatever, I can't really understand and see what it is you're going through. And then you transition. That made the grieving process, I think, even tougher and even longer. Because like to this day, I still want to dial 674, 26, 22 and hoping he pick up. Like for real, bro.
No question.
Sometimes I go to sleep wishing like, just come to me in my dream, man. I just need to talk to you.
That's real. That's real there, Jack. real, though. That's real.
So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, brother, and keeping in mind that what you're teaching young Thundercat, he's gonna pick it up. He's picking it up. And he's picking it up because he's seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
He's seeing you do it. Not just hearing you talk about it.
Yeah.
He's seeing you what a son looks like,
Yes,
what
sir.
an honorable son looks like, what a good son looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I applaud you, and I give you, and I bow at your feet again, brother,
Respect, man.
for the press and the push. Because one of the things I'm most proud of you, you could have made the NFL, great, whatever, because that's what you were destined to do. You know, you had that.
Mm-hmm.
Life events happens, whatever. You turn that into this life that you have. Mm-hmm. All of that is wonderful. All of that is good. But to me, the ability to make and repair, foster the relationship with your pops,
Yes, sir.
is the thing I take before God as, God, I hope I had a semblance of influence in that right there.
No question.
And if I did, that's what I'm hanging my hat on.
No question. Respect. Question. Yeah, man. I appreciate you so much. I was talking to a cat the other day, and cat was talking. He was like, "Yeah, man, you on that boy Oak, man? I love that." He was like, "Y'all used to rock like that for real?" I was like, "Man, I met Oak when I was 13." And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm the type of person, Oak, I ain't never been the type, you know how people come up to kids and be like, "Hey, who your hero? Or who the person you look up to?" And they'll name an athlete or somebody on TV. I ain't never been like that.
Yeah.
Like, ever. I'm gonna be like, my mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my mama every day. You know what I'm saying? Me and my mama driving this old beat up Buick Regal every day, man. I see my mama navigate these waters every day. My mama, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying no athlete, nobody. Hey, man, who been impacting your life? Oh, Mr. Mitchell, the 8th grade teacher. You know what I'm saying? I've always been that way by people that, like, I saw it. Like you talking about, you see it. Like people that's done stuff for me. Like when you used to come in our neighborhood in the hood, sit on the curb with us, got us out there eating orange peels. You know what I'm saying? Like, cat cut up an orange, eat the orange. We like, the orange or the peel? No, eat the peel. That's what the vitamin C. We sitting on the curb at night, 7:30, 8:30 at night. You know what I'm saying? Going to basketball games, spending the night with you. You taking us to Clark, Atlanta. You taking us up here to the tree. Doing all of this stuff, and when you young, you got an appreciation, you got a certain level of gratitude. Like, man, Mr. Mitchell, he took us on the trip. He went with us as a chaperone. And when you get older, you realize, like, man, that shit wasn't easy. Not only did he take us, he had kids, own family. And when you get a family, you start seeing how it's not so much of it being difficult, you just see the cost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the cost, not financially, but the cost, right? And when somebody is willing to do that for you and your friends and others, it gives you a greater appreciation. And not only a greater appreciation, it inspires you in a way to where it makes you realize, excuse my language, but all the bullshit irrelevant, man. Like, what we out here doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, cats out here really impacting, changing lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Through education, through mathematics, through basketball. Like, cat really turning on Outkast, Goody Mob. We listening to it with our teacher. He cut it off. Like, nah, man, what you think about that? Like, it gives you a greater appreciation. So when you get in that position, it inspires you to want to do that or just pay it forward for the next generation of young cats that's coming along.
Yeah.
And I thank God, man. I thank God I grew up in the environment I grew up in. I went to the Atlanta public schools I attended. I came in contact with, the educators I came in contact with, my family, because there's something about, man, when you grow up in certain socioeconomic areas and spaces that gives you a greater appreciation for what really matters and what's really important.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's the one thing I've always appreciated about you. It's like, Oak gonna joke with you, Oak gonna educate you, but Oak gonna make you realize what's important. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for that, Doc.
My God.
Always.
Thank you, sir.
Respect you for that. I fight a bear for you for that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if I win, but I...
Just hold him till I get there. I'm gonna bring a crew with me. We'll get to it.
What you celebrating, Oak, in this season of your life, man? What you celebrating? Or what you got to celebrate?
I'm gonna tell you what I'm celebrating. I had a conversation with my counselor today. She's like, Mom, Miss Huff, shout out Miss Huff, Reggie, Jamie, Vincent, who are like brothers to me.
Yeah. Reg, I know Reg.
Yeah.
Huff.
But anyway, I was just talking, and I rarely think about it because I rarely talk about it. And that is, I have, my 3 biological boys.
Mm-hmm.
One pressing, studying to be a fireman. One is into acting and production and all of that stuff, and he's doing his thing. One is a educator, and they seem to be happy.
Yes, sir.
I'm celebrating that.
No doubt.
I can't, you know what I'm saying? You never know what anybody's going through, what they're dealing with, what struggles and whatever. Yet they seem to be happy, and they are, and they come off as grateful.
Yeah.
I'm celebrating them being in their 20s and still got hope, still got, invigoration in them to live their lives. I'm celebrating the fact that they picked up our mantra of what it means to be a Mitchell is to help people.
Yeah.
So I'm celebrating them. I'm celebrating my marriage.
Yes, sir.
It has taught me a lot and continues to teach me a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm celebrating her. And the only reason I don't mention her because she's very private. But anyway, but I love the fact that she kicks my ass every day. Mm-hmm. Either she gonna wake up kicking my ass or go to sleep kicking my ass. And, she remind me of my basketball coach, Coach Miller. Like, wasn't nothing ever good enough.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? But, hey, I made All-State in basketball,
It
so
is.
It must work.
There it is.
But anyway, yeah, those just my family. I'm celebrating the fact that my mom is in good health. Yeah. She's in her right mind. I love her to death. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we butt heads because we just personality difference.
Yeah.
Right? But just celebrating her, and then if I could go on and on, with family. And then the last thing I'm celebrating is just this, what I feel like the new horizon of serendipity, of what we got going on.
Of course.
I'm celebrating it even before it comes into fruition.
Yeah.
Yes, what about yourself, young buck?
Man, I'm celebrating my wife. I'm proud of my wife, because she took a big loss this year, man. Big loss. And just proud of how she's navigated it, Mm-hmm. And I haven't tried, I haven't thought even about trying to give her advice or insight during the process, throughout the process, just trying my best to just be there,
Yeah.
But, very attentive to how she's handled the process. And I knew, and if I could be real with you, I was like, man, I don't never want that day to come. For however long I've been with my wife, I was like, man, I don't never want my wife to lose her grandma. Like, my wife crazy about her grandma, bro. Like, that's her girl. And like, I love her grandma, but like, my wife and her grandma, like, I'm talking about
Yes.
get down, you know.
Peace, Miss Alice, yes.
Man,
yes.
when we lost her, man, I was like, boy, it felt great outside, you hear me?
Yep.
It felt great. And my wife, man, watching her navigate family, just told her, man, I'm proud of you, you know? I'm proud of you, I celebrate you. And my kids, man, watching them jokers grow, you know, I'm proud of them, I celebrate them, and they're teaching me more than they know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for that. They're teaching
Tell
me more than I know,
Talk
man.
about it.
Watching my daughter coming into high school, watching my son coming up to 8th grade. I celebrate my 3 little sisters, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm finally coming into the season to where I would say, like, I've always been there, brother, but I feel like I'm coming into the season to where I'm being a big brother. Always been there, brother, like, but I'm being a big brother, right, to him.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like I got something to offer him.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You know,
sir.
I celebrate that. And just celebrate the blessings, man. I feel like I'm a thoroughbred, oh. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like God has had me in training. I feel like I just been out in the field somewhere in rural America. Me and God battling. Like, God, you sure? Yeah, go down there. God, you sure? Yeah. And I feel like I'm a thoroughbred, bro. Like, I feel like I'm ready to win the Kentucky Derby. You know what I'm saying? Feel
Let's
strong.
go get it. Yeah.
Feel sharp. But more than anything, I feel like I'm in a space and place to where I'm eager, I'm open, and I'm grounded. Like when you hit me, like, Ink, let's go up to Woodward. Bet, let's go. We walking the campus at Woodward, we looking at different stuff. We sitting down on the steps, me and you, chopping it up, pitching and catching. You're like, Ink, I got it. I'm like, oh, I got it. You know what I'm saying? But in a season to where there's peace,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I used to feel like when I was young, it took certain conditions, criterias, circumstances, and people for me to win. Now I feel like whatever situation, circumstance, and criteria you give me, I can win.
Yeah.
I know how to win
Yeah.
now, you know?
Yep.
At one season in my life, I needed certain things to win.
Mm-hmm.
In this season in my life, I know how to win. Regardless of the situation,
Exactly.
condition, circumstances, not only do I know how to win, God, I'm built to win.
Yeah.
You know? I celebrate that. But it was a fight to get there, you know? So yeah, man. I appreciate you, big dog. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for pitching and catching, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. It's been invigorated, certainly different. I feel different. I feel even more inspired.
Yeah.
Just even, from this conversation, like I do when I have, these situations with different partners of mine. We sit around and talk, man. It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's cathartic.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Feel like I can take on the world.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Don't feel like you can.
Shoot, like my dad say, just because you shit in the woods don't make you no bear. I can take on the bear, boss.
Yeah, but man, there it is, man. We told y'all today we was just gonna be pitching and catching, man. We working on something greater in terms of expression, in terms of environment and creating the right environment. And, we always want to practice what we preach, man. And so we wanted to be the first to press and put ourselves in that space and place. And so when we open that space and place up to the greater environment, we've already done it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to all of you out there, give us your feedback. You know what I'm saying? Just how does it hit? Hit different, hit better, hit worse, whatever. We definitely open to it. But as we're pressing to we changing the world, man. We trying to change the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate y'all for checking in, tuning in. Thank you for all of the feedback that you have been giving. Gratitudes. I don't ever want to forget that. Let you guys know just from the comment section, the feedback, some of you, even from the personal texts that we go through and pitch and catch about. So just thank you and big ups to all of the folks who are rocking with Serendipity. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Peace.
Serendipity, man. Tune in.